Stars win, baby, let's go! Stars win. We go into Game 7. Cogliano and Fedun are both out. So Joel Hanley comes in place for Fedun. And Joel Kiviranta comes in place for Cogliano. Landeskog was out for Colorado. We start the game. The opening faceoff, Bonus put Ben, Fox, and Como together, you know, since Cogliano was out. Stars go on a power play, something that honestly probably shouldn't have been called. It looked like Klingberg tripped himself, but either way. But nothing much was happening on it. It wasn't looking great. Heiskanen gets it up top. He fires one on net. The rebound pops to Pavelski, who kind of bumps it over, and Radulov puts in that rebound. And Stars take the 1-0 lead. Less than 3 minutes into the game. But about a minute after that, Colorado's pushing, and they get it up top to Ian Cole, and he'd fire one from the point, and Nemestikov would end up tipping it, and it'd go through Hudobin's 5-hole, and now it's 1-1. So Colorado's keeping with that theme they've had the last couple games, that every time DAL scores, they score right away. And that made me nervous. Seems to be a recurring thing that I'm nervous a lot in this series, if you haven't noticed, if you've been following. A lot of things have been making me nervous. We move on, and Oleksiak goes to push the puck up, and Burakovsky cuts it off right at the blue line and skates in, and he kind of does a slight toe drag and fires it, and he beats Hudobin. Now it's 2-1 Colorado. You can tell Oleksiak wants that back. I'd hope he wants that back. It was kind of a sloppy play. I don't know. I honestly don't even know really what he was going for. I don't know if he was just trying to get it a little bit further out of the zone or what, but he didn't do it very briskly, and we go into the second with a 2-1 Colorado lead. Colorado would go on a delayed penalty. They'd work it up to the point. Klingberg has it. He has a little spin move, and then he passes it across to Gurianov, who's covering for Lindell, and he fires one on net along the ice. Kiviranta's getting pushed out, but he puts his stick on the ice, and he tips it over Hutchinson's glove, and Stars tie it 2-1. Let's go. The guy in place of Cogliano, coming in clutch, tying the game. That is awesome. Let's go, Kiviranta. And I just want to note, first of all, Gurianov only had, I think it was 9 assists in the regular season with his 20 goals. He's already got 7 in these playoffs. And Cogliano finished the season with 3 goals, and Kiviranta has 1 in the playoffs already. Cogliano doesn't have any in the playoffs. Just thought I'd throw that out there too. But right after Kiviranta ties it, I don't really know what was going on. It was kind of a lapse, and I've sent in Nieto on a breakaway, and Hudobin comes in clutch, doing the splits, catching it between his pad and his glove. Just unreal, keeping the boys in the game. But Colorado would go on a power play, and they'd work it around. They'd fire one from the point, and it goes past Heiskanen. He couldn't get anything on it. He didn't pick up a man, and then bodies dive at it. Kadri gets a stick on it, puts it in the net. Colorado takes the 3-2 lead at 14:15 left in the second. So once again, not very long after the Stars get that goal, Colorado takes their lead back. So again, I'm sitting there like, oh no, we're running out of time. We only got a little over half the game left. I mean, we still got half the game, but Colorado's pushing really hard, and McKinnon's pushing really hard, and McKinnon still doesn't even have a point at this part in the game. So I'm sitting there like, Colorado's getting at least one more. And then with 3 minutes to go in the second, Nichushkin drives in, and he gets the rebound, and it pops out to Kadri beside the net. From my assumption, like, the screen here, all you can see right here is what is the net for Kadri. That's all you can see. And here's Hudobin. He gets the glove on a wide open net, stops Kadri, keeps the boys in it, keeps it a 1-goal game. We go into the third period. Our Stars would end up going on a power play again, a little over halfway through the third, and Ben had it up top. He gave it to Klingberg, who skates in, does his little backward skate, fires it on net. Radulov gets his stick on it, fires it in. Radulov gets his second of the game. Let's go, it's 3-3. 8:32 left in the third. Are we heading to overtime? What's going on here? Like, let's go. to keep it up, boys. Way to tie it. I'm ecstatic. We tied it. I was so nervous. We were running out of time, both in the game and on the power play, and they tied it. Let's go. So we move a little further. About 4 minutes left. Colorado's working it in the star zone, and Pavelski goes to dump it off the glass, and it comes to the point. Zadorov fires it on net. The rebound's kind of wonky. Dobie can't get a full control of it. He goes to bat it, doesn't get a full swing on that. It goes right to Nemestikov, right in front of the net, and he fires it home past Khudobin with 3:40 left. Now I am devastated again. I'm like, wow. Why can't Colorado just leave us alone? The last time Dallas made it to the West Final, I was 9. Like, I wasn't really paying attention back then. I don't really know what's going on. I want to see it. Well, Stars come into the zone right off that face-off. Kiviranta comes in. He drops it for Hintz, who rips one on net. And the rebound pops out to the side. And as Kiviranta's skating by, he picks it up and he fires it and it goes off the post and in. Oh my God, 10 seconds later, it's 4-4. The Stars tied it back up. They pulled a good old flipperoo and went back to Stars playing Stars, and they being the ones to score and come back. Wow! Kiviranta, in place of Cogliano, now has 2 goals in the same game. Ben gets one on net with about 5 seconds left. Rebound pops out, comes out to the point. They fire one on net again. Pavelski finds himself in front of the net alone. So he takes it backhanded around Hutchinson's pad to fire it in. As time's ticking down, 1 second, Hutchinson sprawls, catches it with the glove. The buzzer goes. We're going to overtime. Nothing too crazy in overtime. The odd chance here or there for each side. 7 minutes into the overtime, Alexiak skates in behind the net, and he drops it for Sekera, who then goes behind the net and then sits there. He passes it out front. There's Kiviranta, shoots, he scores! Oh my gosh, Kiviranta! Kiviranta got the hat-trick goal. Stars are going to the Western Conference Final, scored in overtime. Wow! What an emotional roller coaster. I'm watching with my friend, and right before that shift, they came in, Stars were pressuring, it was looking good. I'm sitting on the edge of my seat, like, sitting there watching like this. My buddy goes, I can feel a goal coming. And holy man, I was like, you have no idea how ready I am to just jump out of my seat. And then the Avs kind of got it, they cleared it down the ice, and I was like, shoot. You know, I kind of was like, they relieved the pressure. Stars come right back in, they pull that. Holy crap, I jumped so high and just like kept celebrating. If you watched the player reaction video, which is on the NHL app, something I also recommend, I noticed it there this morning. I was pretty good. And if you haven't seen any of the reactions from the game, like from the press box and stuff like that, like Bishop and the rest of the boys up there, Bishop particularly though, his reactions were pretty much exactly what I was doing. Like, I was jumping up and down like him. It was so funny. I was doing it, and then I saw on TV they showed him, and he was doing it, and I just started laughing at him. But it was a great game overall. Super stressful. I was on the edge of my seat pretty much the whole time. This feels good. This feels really good. Let's get into the stats. So Anton Khudobin stopped 40 of 44 for a .909 save percentage. Michael Hutchinson stopped 30 of 35 for an .857. The shots on goal after the first period were 15-15, so it was pretty high octane type first period. Both teams were trying to go ahead and start the game off right. In the second period, they were 16-11 for Colorado, so Colorado had a slight advantage there. The third period was actually 9-8 for Colorado. Overtime was 4-1 for Colorado. Dallas only needed the one shot. Both goalies started the game looking fairly shaky. Neither could really control / find their rebounds. Didn't look like they fully saw the puck. Maybe it was just nerves for them being in Game 7, you know. Dobie did get better as the game went on, which was good. Total shots were 44-35 in favor of Colorado. Face-offs were 39-31 in favor of Dallas. Power plays were percentage-wise in favor of Dallas. Dallas went 2 for 2, so 100% right there. And Colorado went 1 for 4. So they finally scored on the power play. However, it's not quite enough to help them, and I'm okay with that, if I'm being honest. The hits were 38-32 in favor of Dallas. The 3 stars were Kiviranta, Nemestikov, and Hudobin. It was a really good game, very entertaining game, very good entertaining series. If there's any Colorado fans watching this, I don't think you have anything to be ashamed of in this series, honestly. You put up a really good fight. I still wouldn't have been surprised if you guys would have walked away with that game. You guys got a really good team, and you guys got a lot of cap space to build on that, and that's scary because you guys got a bright and long future ahead of you. Whereas Dallas is kind of more of a shorter window. So the fact that we pulled that off is really good, confidence boosters. And I think the fact the underdog thing is, I think it's helping. There's a little bit less pressure on them in that aspect, and I think that helps the Stars. We went into this season with 0 Dallas Stars ever having a hat trick in the postseason, and now we're going into the Western Conference Final with 3 players who have done so, 2 of which are rookies, and one of those rookies scored 4. If there's anything I missed, let me know down in the comments below. If there's anything you'd like to add, put that down in the comments below. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe if you're new. I'll see you in Game 1 against Vegas.